Brothers, sisters, and all you beautiful backsliders, can I get an amen? The Spirit has moved, the call has gone out, and the merch revival is upon us. We're talking brand new designs straight from the prophetic pens of Sister Laci and Sister Lola. My current favorite shirt is the This Little Light of Mine. Oh, hallelujah, it's my favorite, but the Lord in his infinite drip has blessed us with many colors. Comfort color tees for the saints, hoodies for the faithful, sweatshirts for the weary, and yes, eco-friendly fabrics for the earth-conscious disciples. Every single purchase feeds the mission. It fuels the ministry and keeps this holy podcast pulpit running week after week. So don't delay, don't hesitate, don't let the devil of procrastination steal your blessing. Click that holy link in the show notes, enter the code. Oh wait, there's no code. The miracle's already built in. Hallelujah! Get your gear, wear it proudly, and let the world know you belong to the Deadly Faith congregation. Can I get an amen? Now back to the show.
Hey, heathens. You're listening to the Deadly Faith Podcast, where religion and crime collide. I'm Lola.
And I'm Laci.
And this shit is unbelievable.
The mind that was in Jesus, that mind is in me.
Without me, life has no meaning.
Why would God tell you what I'm thinking and tell you what I've said to my wife or my husband when you're not around? It's because I'm the pastor of the church and I need to know.
This is the only place where you can see truth.
Ooh. I literally have no idea what we're talking about today. Like, I know the title.
Greater Grace Church. You haven't heard of them before?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I might have, and it'll start ringing some bells as we go through it, but like no bells are ring-a-dinging.
They also sound like every other like
church on the corner.
Quasi like Highlands Hillsong type of church. You know, like Greater Grace or Grace Church, Hope Church. I don't know. If I just called out your church, I'm not saying that you're like them, but it's just one of those names you just kind of affiliate with that because it's not called like the Assembly of God or the Church of Christ or the First Baptist, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so our trigger warnings for this are fraud, child sexual abuse, and graphic sexual abuse.
Oh, good God.
The bad stuff comes later on.
Okay.
So I've got some background for you first. So Carl Stevens is one of our main characters here. He was an American evangelist. I wanted to say evangelical and
That's what
evangelist.
I thought you were trying to say.
Sorry. Evangelist for the Christian church. And he was one of the first radio evangelists. And he hosted shows like Telephone Time and The Grace Hour.
Telephone Time? No.
I've heard of The Grace Hour before. Telephone Time I didn't recognize that one. But yeah. He was like one of the first as like a pioneer in the religious radio sphere.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
In the 1970s, Carl Stevens created Greater Grace Church Outreach. And he and his church followers were from a previous ministry. So they broke off from Woolwich Wiscasset Baptist Church. I'm sorry. Can't say that. Woolwich Wiscasset Baptist Church.
What? I have so many questions on just the name. Just the name.
I think it's just the area.
Okay. They broke away from this church and started their own.
Yes.
Okay. Tale as old as time.
The church had a split. What church doesn't have a split at one time or another? But they specifically had a split after an arson attack on the church.
Damn.
I don't know I'm not privy to all the details on that.
Right.
But I think it was an inside job.
Oh.
From what I'm understanding.
Okay.
And that's why there was a split. I think there was some kind of division there. And then an arson attack transpired.
What a thing to split on. Damn.
So Carl was going to leave, and whoever left also went with Carl.
Okay.
And Carl purchased a former private boarding school in Massachusetts. Greater Grace Church Outreach has some other names and affiliates with them, such as Bible Speaks, Greater Grace Learning Center. There's more.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of different ones. Lots of different affiliations and like branches off of it, but it's all connected to him. And he like owns it all.
Gotcha.
And it took off. It was very like diverse, very young congregants were coming in. They had very enthusiastic Pentecostal type worship services.
Mm-hmm.
And they were based off of 5 core values: prayer, praise, proclamation, participation, and partnership.
Wow. It's a lot.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when preachers do that, when they do all P
P's.
words or all B's or it annoys me.
Wasn't
like
it
the PowerPoints?
Yeah, wasn't it Jim Bob Duggar? The Duggars, all the kids' names started with a J.
Yes. Joanna, Josiah, Jedediah. Don't ask me the others.
Yeah.
So Carl was drawing in a lot of newcomers because of his passion and the radio evangelism that he had began, whatever. The power of audio.
Yeah.
We're seeing it here in real time.
Exactly.
Me and you.
Do we know what year this is? Did you say that?
This is the 1970s when he created Greater Grace Church Outreach.
Okay.
Take notice that the episode is called Greater Grace Church and not Greater Grace Church Outreach. That should come up later on. So, as the church is growing exponentially, they decide to branch out and plant missionaries abroad in several countries such as Finland and El Salvador.
Gotcha.
And Carl doesn't just stop with church work, but he knows that education is very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And he intends to use that.
Mm-hmm.
So in the 1980s, he created Stevens Christian Schools, and their core values are the same things as the churches, those 5 Ps.
Okay.
It's the same at the center of their...
I was just about to say, okay, they're the same PPs.
They're the same PPs. It's all the same core values at the center of the education curriculum.
Okay.
The first sign of trouble began in the late 1980s when a former congregant of Greater Grace Church Outreach came forward. Her name was Betsy Dovadinas. I hope I said your name right. She was an heiress of the Dayton Hudson fortune.
Okay. Must be nice.
She had lots of money.
Silver spoon in your mouth, honey.
So she was interviewed on 60 Minutes claiming that Carl had brainwashed her into secretly donating $7 million to the church's ministry funds.
Okay. It's some powerful brainwashing.
Mm-hmm. I'll say. So Betsy's lawyers claimed that Carl had used some of her money to outfit a bedroom in his vacation house, from a vibrating bed to floor-to-ceiling mirrors.
What in the Austin Powers bullshit is this?
Super gross. The lawyers also reportedly claimed that Carl had bought equipment that seemed better suited for an espionage ring than a church. So I'll give you the list: a polygraph machine, an anti-bugging device, a voice stress analyzer, a bomb sniffer dog, a concealable microphone, and a briefcase recorder.
Okay, hold on. Rewind. A bomb dog.
Yeah.
He bought a dog.
Yeah.
Also, bomb sniffer dogs. Those are expensive as fuck.
Uh-huh.
Why is he buying why? I'm confused.
Again, I like how they said this is more suited for an espionage ring than a church.
Mm-hmm. Pastor. What is going on?
Pastor Stevens, what are you doing? So the case was taken to federal bankruptcy court, where a judge determined that Carl did abuse his power in the church and ordered that he return $6 million to Betsy. And he was also found guilty of clerical deceit. I don't know what this means. Avarice?
And avarice is the extreme greed for wealth or material gain. So
thank you. Yes.
That fits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ding, ding.
And on top of that, he also had to pay off other people that he had taken money from. Because Betsy wasn't the only one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think he just sought her out for the most amount because he knew she had disposable income. So
did he ever pay it back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He had to.
Good.
Yeah. So with all that money gone and the loss of trust between church members, they had to have been canceled, right? Like, done. It's over.
You would hope so. I would hope so. But I always know these motherfuckers be coming back like a freaking staph infection that's not treated.
Imagine if someone that you trusted, like a teacher, a pastor, they tricked you into giving money and the funds were used not for something that you thought they were going to be used for. Like, all your trust should be gone with them, or at least a majority of it.
The most logical, like, common sense person is going to be able to tell that, okay, you're a scammer, you're a fraud, but because it's in the church, I have a feeling he is going to do what all churches do and say,
what's that?
Persecution, or they didn't see God's vision. Like, this money was, I was buying these things for specific reasons and God told me to, and X, Y, and Z, and win everybody back over. That's my guess.
That's a good guess.
Yeah. Am I wrong?
Well, so they weren't canceled. They kept moving. The church moved to Baltimore after selling off their assets to repay anyone that was ripped off. And they became an international church, founding wards all over the globe. They literally did not stop.
Yeah.
It didn't deter half of them, more than half of them, that they had been wronged and tricked and, robbed. Literally just robbed. So by 2024, they had around 550 established church wards.
Damn.
That's like all over the globe.
That's a lot.
And the church was doing some good work, honestly, in the forefront. I have to give credit where credit is due. There was a lot of community work that happened, lots of food banks, assistance for anyone that was low income. I mean, it was doing things that you expect and desire a church community to do. But for the people that didn't get to see behind the pulpit, they had no reason to believe they were working alongside perverts and predators.
Of course.
Behind the scenes, everything was much, much different. So as much good that happened, I would say equally or greater worse things happened.
Based off your trigger warnings, I'm going to say worse. And I'm sure they use that as like a front, like, oh, no, don't look here. We're just a good church doing good things and helping our community. Yeah, don't look any closer. You have no reason to question.
And I do believe that there were people working with Carl that genuinely always had good intentions and good actions.
Oh, absolutely.
Which would fuel the evidence and back the underpinning of the whole organization that this is a helpful church that's focused on education, their core values, lifting each other up and reaching out. So
I agree.
But let's keep going. So in 2008, Carl died. Before he passed, he tapped in a new person to head up his churches in 2005, and that was Thomas Schaller. Bye. In 2015, a member of Greater Grace Church Outreach, Joanna Veeder, told her husband, Matt Veeder, that a pastor at their church was sexually inappropriate with her. Direct quote, he would touch my waist and hips and ask me if I thought about sex.
Oh my God, gross. And she's how old?
I don't really know.
Okay.
I'm assuming that they're in their late 20s, early 30s from the photos that I saw in the paper where she is quoted on these things.
Gotcha.
And also her husband, when he comes forward and is talking about it on interviews, he looks to be in his mid-30s. So,
okay.
So Joanna said that he told me hips are the most attractive part of a woman's body. And this unnamed pastor also sent her explicit emails, like sexually explicit emails.
These guys, I swear to God.
The gall.
The
audacity.
Gall.
Put it back. Don't pick it up.
Put it so far back. Oh my God.
So Matt, her husband, followed what he believed to be scripturally mandated and approached the leaders of the church in 2015 at Greater Grace. And he was told to move on. And so was she. They said, move on and forgive as Jesus has forgiven.
Oh, and God.
That pastor was not punished or talked to. He was allowed to continue working at that church.
Because they probably...
No pay cuts, no suspension.
They probably
nothing.
mentioned it and he was like, oh, I stumbled. And they were like, okay, free pass. Don't do it again. All right, forgive him.
The stumbling thing literally is a get out of jail free card.
Every fucking time, and it pisses me off.
And I think that's also why I kind of hate the word grace in church circles, because it's like, well, just give him grace. Just give him grace. How much grace do you give a predator?
It's a free card. What happened to accountability? What happened to justice? Like, when does grace trump all of this? And what's the extent that, when is a grace allowed to run out? You know, like, I'm going to give you grace if you have a bad day.
Grace can live alongside accountability and responsibility. And that's where it should exist.
Yeah.
But it's like it surpasses that.
It replaces it. And it's like, where is the line? And when do we decide that grace needs to change and that I'm going to go off on a tangent, keep going, because it just like that, that is like one of my triggers. I'm feel like, oh, just give him grace. And I'm like,
no,
what was it? Well, a pastor's son was arrested recently. And what was found on his electronics, a detective said that it was some of the most atrocious CSAM you've ever seen in your life. And one of the top fucking comments on this Facebook post article about it was this person saying, we need to extend grace and forgiveness like Jesus would, because I'm sure if any cop looked through our phones, they'd see stuff that they didn't approve of. And I'm like,
nope. Open my phone, go through my history, go ahead.
FBI needs to search your fucking computer, because there is not one thing that I would be ashamed of. The extent of my shame they would be like, you research a lot of true crime. Are you okay mentally? No, I'm not, sir. That is why we are here. But
you read a lot of smut and you listen to a lot of true crime.
Exactly. Like, was I literally listening to a smut book right before I jump on this with you? Yes, I was. But like, why children are being abused and he has evidence of it on his phone. And your first response is give him grace? No, the only person I would be giving grace to in this moment, or my sympathies, would be his family, to know that they're raising a psychopathic predator. Like, it stuff triggers the fuck out of me.
Understandable. Yeah. And it's so sad. I am not surprised the top comment was that.
I'm not either. I'm just pissed.
Yeah. Okay. So in 2019, some of the church members went on a camping trip, and one evening they were like sitting around a campfire, you know, just like chilling, s'mores, weenies, having a good time.
Roasting some weenies.
A ghastly confession was made.
That's a weird ass time to confess it. Okay.
A testimony, a secret was revealed to the group.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat. Tell me more.
This person told his friends that his aunt told him, it's a friend of a friend, that she saw a pastor sexually abusing his own child in their church.
What the fuck?
The shock of it all, this like little gap of silence that we just had, is very, very much the same reaction. It was like you could hear a pen drop in the moment. Everyone was like, sorry, huh? Because it was kind of, they weren't talking about anything like that. But they, in this small circle of friends from church, felt, it was a mix of people.
And it was young boys? Like teens?
Yes, it's like young adults, I would say.
It's like, ma'am, I understand you needed to get that off your chest, but you don't go telling your nephew or niece or whoever it is you told. You go to the cops. You told the wrong person.
I think that you
need to go to the
cops. Was a little bit fearful of what she had seen. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly
sure
why she felt comfortable telling this person. But the shock of all of this wore off into bravery when suddenly other campers in this circle start to share similar stories of abuse from their own families and personal experiences in the church. Greater grace.
Oh my God. It's like that. It's like that. All you need is like one person to break the dam, and then it's just like,
that's it. Yeah. And you know who was in that same circle? The same guy who had approached leadership about his wife's experience 4 years prior.
Yes.
So Matt is in this circle.
Let me tell you something.
And he tells them what happened to his wife. So now they're all looking at each other. They've all told whatever they had to say. And they're all looking at each other like,
what now?
How far out does this go? If it's just our tiny circle here, we all have vastly different stories and experiences from like different ages and different, like before this person came to church and before this person came to the church, just all different levels of experiences. And so they're looking around, they're like, we need to ask more questions. We've got to figure out, we got to get to the bottom of it. You know, is there something dark that's...
Yeah. And is it different predators?
Some of them are, most of them I think are not naming. They're just telling their own experience.
Okay.
But at this point,
okay,
I don't know who they have named.
Okay.
So remember that the person that we left off with is Thomas Schaller as being head of the church in 2005. And Carl died in 2008. So that is the like head honcho of all divisions of Greater Grace Church, Greater Grace Outreach, Greater Grace, all of the education, the Stevens, Christian, all that stuff. So
you said Carl died in 2008.
Yeah.
And this is what year from the campfire?
This is 2019.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
2015 was when Matt and Joanna had the discussion of what had happened, and he went to church leader. So this is 4 years later at just a random camp out.
Okay. Timeline's stuck in my head. Here we go.
So they all begin to ask around the congregation more, and they find more similar stories, more and more. A former member named Ryan, he ended up speaking out. The first time he heard of sexual abuse in the church was from his sister in 2019.
Wow.
She told him that she was abused when they were children, and she had not told anyone in their family. So some people had been abused by people that have passed away or that used to be in leadership that no longer attend there too. So like, they're still trying to fit all the puzzle pieces together of like, is this a theme of something darker that's always been here? Or was it a few that came in and are gone? You know, I don't know if this person, I don't know specifically if this person had like died or gone away, but she just hadn't told anyone in their family. She was too scared to. So
don't blame her.
Another member named John, he spoke out as well. He was at a Halloween party and got a text message that his former youth pastor was being arrested for sexual misconduct. And he said after that, it like opened his eyes a bit to what could be in front of him. And he could see a pattern within the church, especially church leadership. So Ryan and John and several others started a group called Millstones, which is really cool because they use this term from Matthew 18:6 in the New Testament of the Bible.
Yes, but I know
whosoever.
Yes.
If you don't know it, guys, but whosoever shall cause one of these little ones who believe in me to fall, it were better for him that a millstone were hung about his neck and he was drowned in the sea.
I love that name. That is great. Good job, guys. High fives. That's awesome.
Yeah, I really like that too. What a nice way to take back their power too.
Yeah.
And still,
because it's like them saying, I will be the millstone that drags you down.
Yes.
Like I'm going to drag you to your death. I'm like,
I'll be the one, and it will honor God too. It will still honor like our spiritual paths.
Right.
Because it's all for the sake of the little ones, you know? So they were gathering all this information to document the abuse and the testimonies of anyone that witnessed abuse, because a lot of these that are coming forward are actually just seeing it happen and not hearing directly from every single victim. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But regardless, they were like, we're going to help these victims if they can do anything at all. They're trying to get their hands on everything, every photo, text, email, every testimony, everything they can. So In 2019, 32 people told the Millstones group that they had been sexually assaulted as children by men from the church.
Wow. Okay.
So that's a big number. I know that this church has, the 550 wards. It could have had they had less at the time probably because that number's from 2024, but it's a large scale operation. So 32 sounds low, but it's really not for anyone that was willing to actually come forward. We know that there were more. There had to have been more.
I was going to say, that's just who came forward. Right.
Yeah. Okay. So things are getting a little bit more graphic now. If you need to bow out, we'll see you later. 18 other survivors came forward to law enforcement of their own accord. So that's kind of aside from the Millstone group. One lawsuit filed against the church by a woman with the initials JT alleges that she was, I hate saying alleges because I know it happened.
I believe it. Right.
I'm saying alleges, but I know. She was fondled and forcibly penetrated with a cross by a Greater Grace preacher in his 30s. The alleged abuse occurred 3 times in the 90s when the woman was between the ages of 10 and 15, according to the complaint.
Oh my God. And he used a cross? What the fuck? The whole thing's what the fuck, but then you add the cross there and you're just like, I have no words.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfy.
She does not identify the man in her complaint, but she describes him as being clean-shaven with a medium build and nearly 6 feet tall.
Oh my gosh, this poor baby.
Ugh.
The way I would burn a church to the ground. And I'm not even talking figuratively.
The lawsuit states that the defendant carelessly staffed spiritual leaders, priests, clergy members, and other personnel members at its religious institution, and the defendant knowingly protected these staff members so the public would not find out that they were molesting children. Another complaint was filed. Honestly, I love the way that these lawyers are putting it too. Carelessly staffed, knowingly protected. And then again, addressing the situation for what it is, molesting children. Between the ages of 10 to 15, that is a child. They're a child when they are under 18. Honestly, I feel like you're a child when you're under 20, but whatever.
And that's not even molesting. He full-on raped her. It's an object, but he full-on raped her.
Yes. Another complaint filed by a man with the initials AB alleges, again, I hate that, the son of a Greater Grace pastor fondled him and performed oral sex on him in 1996 when he was 11 years old. The son wanted AB to reciprocate the sexual act, but a member of the church knocked on the door and interrupted this abuse, according to the complaint.
Ew.
Let's not forget about the men that are also out there molested, raped.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, this was the son who did it. The son of the pastor abused this little boy. And so what's happening?
Where'd he learn it?
That's exactly where I was going with that too.
So again, it's like, we don't talk about that enough. Child abuse on children.
Child on child.
Yeah. I know that's a really nuanced conversation and super hard to even acknowledge. I have a hard time sitting with that.
Because you have to peel back the layers of the situation, and it's really hard.
Because it's like you don't want to blame either child in the situation.
Yeah. I can give you a story.
Tell me.
There's, I can't say names, but I knew somebody who, as a child, was sexually molested by a boy that was around her same age. Now, that boy was in like a foster care type situation. One of his parents was in jail, and the other parent was dead. The person who was in jail killed the other one. I can't remember if it was like mom shot dad and mom's in jail, or dad shot mom and dad's in jail. I don't know how it went. But I do know that before this happened, the dad would watch porn and make the little boy sit and watch it with him.
Oh.
And this happened.
God.
Like the abuse that she endured was at 8 years old. So he was being forced to watch porn at like 5.
Yeah.
And 6 and like, and so you have sympathy for the child. But
and the thing is that the child thinks it's normal.
And even when the child learns it's not, the urge and the desire is still there. And
After
it's
you open
awakened.
that,
And yeah.
it's open.
And it's hard because like you want to have sympathy for the child, but at the same time, I wanted to strangle the child's little fucking neck,
Yeah.
So it's like, it is a very nuanced conversation, and it is, it's hard.
I hope we can learn more about that from like experts and hearing from people that have experienced those situations too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got more. Former church members Jedediah and Benjamin Tangway, I believe is how you say their last name, filed lawsuits against the church and former youth leader Ray Fernandez, who was convicted of molesting both of these brothers in the 1990s. They alleged the church was complicit in the abuse and has refused to take responsibility for allowing the attacks to happen to both of them. This abuse happened while Thomas Schaller was in charge. He was the direct leader for Fernandez. And Schaller said, "People have trusted us. They've trusted their children to us." This is from the Banner reporting. "This is an honor, a sacred trust that we do not take lightly. We take this honor seriously." So, like, I like that he knows it's serious.
Yeah.
But what else are you doing? So,
exactly.
In an apparent reference to the Fernandez case, Schaller did publicly state that the church had spent $30,000 on professional counseling for the victims. And he said that the church has a youth protection policy in place to prevent this type of circumstance from happening again. So he did take some moves there. It doesn't undo the things that were done.
Right.
I am curious to know what the leadership and dynamic looked like between him and Fernandez as the attacks were happening.
Yeah.
I'm happy for the things that he did afterward. It begs the question, if you are his direct superior, do you feel
yeah, did you know? Did you not know? Did you try to help cover it up and you're just now doing this stuff because it's being brought to light?
Did you know anything about, so like sometimes I think about it this way with church employers, they often ask people for like their own testimony, their own like how they came to God, what was your past like? And I wonder, I know that that's not, they don't like share that information with the rest of the church, but like it is a lot of the time part of the hiring process to get to know their own spiritual past. So like, did something come up?
Yeah.
That maybe should have been a bigger red flag? Maybe it never did. This is me just speculating. And maybe something was said that went over Thomas's head and he didn't think was going to be a future problem. But I just wonder.
There had to have been red flags going on during this time. And so why are you not, if these red flags are happening, why are you not taking that red flag, that gut feeling and saying, okay, I don't know, I can't prove it one way or the other, but I am going to start putting things and procedures in place to avoid or prevent something like this from being able to happen, and I'm going to be more guarded. I'm going to be more on watch for these kiddos. And yeah.
I should also insert here, I said that their name changed to Greater Grace Church in a very like soft way though. So Greater Grace Church outreach is still a thing. It is just for their like ministries and missionaries abroad. So there are Greater Grace churches in the United States where they set up. So
gotcha.
When I'm just calling them Greater Grace Church at this time, I'm just referring to the ones in the United States.
Gotcha. Okay.
So at first, he began it as Greater Grace Church Outreach when he was making all the plants. And I think somewhere along the lines, I'm not sure exactly when. It could have been when Thomas took over. It could have been before that. That it kind of was almost rebranded, but not really.
Yeah.
So John Patrick Richard Capello, what a name anyway, alleged in his own lawsuit that he was repeatedly assaulted by youth pastor John Love's daughter in the mid to late 1990s. I like when they name drop. I like that. Right. He says that she blamed him for the alleged abuse, telling him that only men can initiate sexual acts, according to his complaint. Again, we have got to believe and hear male survivors.
And that includes men. Exactly.
Men can be raped by women. They can be assaulted by women. They can be abused by women. It is not... even though we see it more commonly the other way around, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
And that it's not still a common issue. So we've got to believe men too. One thing to keep in mind with megachurches is just how easily crime can get covered up. Because it extends outside of church walls. So meaning that like church members, they're each other's neighbor. They're each other's law enforcement. So, family members, teachers, managers, coworkers, it's a different type of danger when a victim comes forward from a megachurch specifically, because you not only set yourself up for possibly not being believed, making yourself vulnerable to those church leaders in a different way, because they might be the person that lives next door to you. So
it's like I'm gonna bring a Stranger Things reference here. So in the Upside Down, the tentacles, they're far reaching throughout the entire town.
That's a good visual for this.
That's what I see. Is when you're in a mega church, the pastor's lawyer is probably sitting next to you in the pew, or whatever. There's just, it's so government officials, everything's so far reaching with these kind of churches. It's very scary because it's like, who am I going to believe? Or who's going to believe me,
Yeah. You also don't know who's besties with who, or who works with who half the time.
Yeah.
So you risk your livelihood, your community, your friends, your relationships, and then your own church community. So, okay, at this point, all the different wards of this mega church, Greater Grace Church, need to be taking accountability and self-inventory of their groups to determine what safety measures they need to take.
Yeah.
So Thomas Schaller has, implemented things to his credit, but it's not far-reaching, right? From what I understand. So that does not happen until 2024. 2 pastors are finally fired. Can you believe it? That we haven't had anyone else being fired up until 2024 for all of this that's come out. They started figuring things out in 2019.
That's insane.
Yeah. The civil lawsuits against the church leaders are stacking up even to this day.
Hell yeah.
They are stacked. From former congregants, so they may not still go to those churches, saying that they were not protected as children when they attended church. In 2024, Erica Slater saw the expose info on Greater Grace Church and the victims of the abuse stepping forward, so like the millstones, that became very popular and well known as a safe space. And you could keep yourself anonymous if you needed to,
Yeah.
So when she saw all of this, she traveled from New York back to her home state of Massachusetts to file a police report on sexual abuse that happened to her decades ago. She accused Eric Anderson of ushering her behind his desk and groping her several times in the spring of 1980 when she was in first grade, and he was her school principal.
What the fuck?
Again, it's so far-reaching, even in the schools.
Yeah, because the schools are tied to the church.
I don't know if they actually I don't know if this was someone that worked for one of the education ministries, or if he just worked for a local school system.
Yeah.
And they were also
members.
Yeah. So Eric Anderson, 80 years old, is facing 2 counts of indecent assault and battery of a child. And the abuse allegedly happened when Eric was living at the church's headquarters back in the 1980s. Jocelyn, his wife, spoke to the media and said that Eric called all the allegations BS.
Of course.
Let me share with you what Erica wrote on FactNet website under her pseudonym Preston. This is about her perspective as a child.
Oh my gosh.
They allude to being abused in one shared living space in a narrative, written from first grade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the top floor. Sometimes he locks me up there. That's a post from November 2005. Sometimes I run for the door and he laughs at me because he is stronger. He touches me and I don't like it.
Oh, baby.
It's so visually jarring.
Yeah.
The things she's saying. A shared living space.
Yeah. Like the way she's writing it is from a child's perspective or like their feelings. And so
literally, it's like what she had in her brain as a child.
Oh my gosh.
I hate everything.
Yeah.
She later told the members of the Millstones that she was speaking about Eric Anderson. She is now a paralegal and child abuse caseworker and helps other survivors of abuse. And she said that she hopes that coming forward with her own story will encourage others to report sexual abuse to law enforcement, even if they're not ready to speak about allegations publicly.
I understand that.
And good on you, Erica. I'm so sorry what happened to you. Oh, God.
And the fear she must have felt whenever he was like laughing at her.
Running to the door and having somebody laugh at you and it's like your body knows you need to get out of this situation. Your mind knows it, but your mind also knows I can't actually get out.
No.
But like, what am I going to do? Am I just going to sit here and accept it? Am I just going to...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not only is he older, not only is he stronger, but he's like an authority figure because he's the principal of the school. And he was living on the church. I'm assuming it's the school that's like tied to the church.
It very much could be.
Yeah.
I just didn't see anything specific with it at this point. Eric Anderson. Let's talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
The piece of shit that he is. Eric was a leader in the church since he had been with Carl pretty much from the beginning.
Oh, wow.
When Carl started everything. He led the Maryland Bible College and Seminary, where the church's pastors received their theological training.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't go to they had their own seminary.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know if this is normal, because Church of Christ, where I grew up, they don't go to seminary. So I'm not well versed on how seminary works, if it's like a private thing through your own denomination, or if it's like there's a universal type of seminary that pastors just need to go to if they're going to be preaching Christian teachings.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know.
That's something I want to look into. Maybe we'll get back to you guys on that.
If you guys know, you can comment or message us about it, because we need to know.
Yeah.
We need to know.
Yeah.
Eric has 2 sons, Jesse and Jonathan, and then his wife, Jocelyn, we talked about earlier. But they were not a perfect family. Eric was a horrific man.
No, you don't say.
In 2005, his son, Jesse, pled guilty to sexual abuse of a minor. And Eric told that victim's family members, you have no idea how hard this is for Jesse. He was... Why would you say that? Why was just...
To the
you
victim's
have no
family?
idea to the... Yes. He said that to them. You have no idea how hard this is for Jesse.
Because he was caught? Oh, boo fucking who?
I mean, he was super cold and cruel to this family all throughout court proceedings and afterward. And you know what? I think he was feeling defensive because he knew my son is just like me.
Oh, what is it? Thou doth protest too much, good sir.
Yeah. And you know what? It's sad because both of his sons turned out just like him.
Oh my gosh.
So his other son, Jonathan, has been accused of harming children that are members of the church. Jonathan is the older brother and was accused of groping a woman during a New Year's Eve celebration held at the church in the mid-1990s when she was in first or second grade. So apparently it just runs real deep with the Anderson boys.
What in the Josh Duggar is this shit?
Well, we're getting into some type of something.
Okay.
In 2024, church officials announced that they were officially launching an independent investigation.
I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. I am sorry.
But I have some good news for you, okay?
But they found out about it in 2019.
Oh, I know. They moved way too slow. I still think if anyone is accused, if a pastor is accused, or anyone in leadership, accused of harming a child or groping a member or something, just like being sexually inappropriate at all emails, I think that's automatic investigation, report to police, and fired, cut off immediately. And then a statement should be made to the entire church that they should all be aware of what happened. So it's ongoing still. And the independent investigation is being led by an organization, Godly Response to Abuse in the Christian Environment.
Oh, that
or
Grace.
Grace, as we have talked about before.
They did the evangelical.
We like Grace.
Yes.
Well, we like Grace.
I've heard some problematic stuff about Grace in certain investigations, but we are only speaking from our personal experience with Grace and how Grace has handled the investigation that we covered with
and
evangelicalists.
if you know of specific misconduct, please email us.
Yeah.
So the existing engagement for an independent assessment with Grace will also allow Grace to confidently intake any information related to this case and assess any questions and concerns related to potential mishandling of abuse reports, gaps in policy or structure, or cultural dynamics which existed in Greater Grace, which could impact abuse reporting, prevention, and response. If any relevant information is discovered or submitted related to this case, it will be discussed in the released report that is from Grace.
Okay. And so Grace is still doing their investigation?
From what I know, yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming they were pretty fucking thorough with the evangelicalish or even new evangelicals.
I assume if the report is not ready soon, I'm not even mad if it's not ready quite yet, because
that just means they're being thorough.
Going back to the 1970s, I mean, they've got to comb all the way back, and they've got lots of dead people and people that are kind of AWOL now. So I don't know exactly what it looks like on their end with research and interviewing and things like that.
I want to say it took like 6 months or so to start and finish the investigation with the new evangelicals.
So,
and that was just from an incident spanning less than a year.
So not even multiple different people with different incidents. So yeah. So at this point, I don't have any update on Grace's investigation for that. Greater Grace leaders acknowledged the lawsuits in a series of statements posted on the church's website and pledged to make youth safety the organization's highest priority. But the update also emphasizes that the alleged abuse occurred more than 2 decades ago and notes that the church may raise a charitable immunity defense, which could protect it from liability exceeding its insurance coverage, which I think is crappy and crummy and shady as fuck.
Yeah. Tax the church.
Because it was still under Thomas's leadership. So again, it's like, I can give you credit partially, but why are you not wanting full accountability and this is a multi-million-dollar operation with all the things they have going on, all the money coming in, not just from their programs, but from just like tithing and donations. You're fine. You're fucking fine. And if you're not, sell your fucking assets. Like, that's not anyone else's problem. That is your problem to take accountability, and you should be happy to do so. Jesus would have flipped your fucking table.
Exactly. Agreed. Amen.
So the 2 pastors whose preaching credentials were revoked and they were fired, is partially outreach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I can't say these names. I'm okay. Ghanaian pastor Henry Kruma.
Okay.
Kruma, sure. Well, Henry Kruma.
Okay.
And an unnamed pastor from suburban Baltimore.
Okay.
I don't know why he's not named.
Yeah.
Henry was reported for sexual abuse by Georgetta Bumbly.
Okay.
There are G's and N's in front of their names, so that's why I'm having a difficult time with pronunciation. She said she felt so relieved when he was fired. She came forward with allegations in 2020 and was dismissed by all church leaders. In 2024,
this time.
the worst. In 2024, the Henry's case with her, there was a letter signed by head pastor Thomas Schaller and the missions director Stephen Scabelli.
Okay.
And instructed him to resign, citing 1 Timothy 3:1-7 as the biblical basis. And it reads like this: your actions have caused significant harm to many, and such behavior cannot be tolerated. The other pastor is the only unnamed in media due to the victim's concerns with retaliation. That victim is Joanna Veeder, Matt's wife.
Wow.
In another letter, church officials took responsibility that they messed up handling the case of the Baltimore pastor who groomed her when she was a teenager and was explicit with her. Yeah.
Oh, man.
The church initially suspended his ordination about a decade ago, but only now formally revoked it. I don't really know the difference in what they're speaking of here, because it seems like he's still on staff, he's still paid, he's still doing active work.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what it means by revoking ordination, but still being able to keep a pastor slot.
Right. I don't know.
Again, I don't really understand how their seminary and stuff works. So if any of you out there know or have information on suspension of ordination, but then being able to still continue because it's not revoked.
Right.
Please tell me, because it was a bit confusing. They described his conduct as unethical in the extreme, supported by convincing objective evidence, including emails in which the pastor professed love to Joanna when she was 16 and 17. That is so gross. That is so gross.
Is this the one, is she the one that was...
So she came forward to her husband in 2015, and told him about the abuse when she was younger, that she'd been groped, and that he had, the pastor, whoever that was, the unnamed pastor, he had talked about her hips being attractive and like touching her body and asking if she thought about sex. And then he went to...
I thought this was happening at that time. I didn't realize that it was when she was younger. Okay, now it's making more sense. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Joanna said the punishment of the Baltimore area pastor was just too little too late. And if they really cared about keeping children safe, they would be shouting the names from the rooftops rather than doing the bare minimum for years and years behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
And I fully back that.
Yeah, because is he just going to go to another church?
Yeah, see? Good question. The church budget is feeling the heat. It has been ever since this all came out, and they started with the investigations in 2024. Their private schools are losing enrollment numbers in droves, and they are having to hire really good attorneys to help them with the lawsuits, because the lawsuits, as we have talked about, have stacked up, and it keeps stacking. More and more people are still talking about this coming forward. I mean, think about that. 550 wards. Yeah. We started with like the 32. Then we had another 18. And then we got more. Remember, Erica, she traveled from New York all the way back home to Massachusetts just to file a police report. Yeah. So they're feeling brave. They're feeling supported by each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want for them.
Yeah, agreed. Same.
They deserve justice. They deserve payout. They deserve therapy, whatever they need. And I just want to recap because I know that this has been a lot of lawsuits and convictions and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to recap with you now.
Okay.
That as of 2024, the Baltimore pastor that's unnamed and Pastor Henry Kruma were fired.
Okay.
And as of June 27th of 2025, Greater Grace pastor Eric Anderson, 80, is facing 2 counts of indecent assault and battery of child. Ray Fernandez was convicted of 3 counts of child sexual abuse in 1990. And unfortunately, so it was those 2 brothers. Unfortunately, in 2024, he was eligible for parole. I am not sure what has happened after that. But may he never know peace a day in his life.
Yeah.
Never. Never. And may those boys always know peace.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good night.
Yes. Right. Agreed.
And that's it for Greater Grace. I wish I had absolutely every single lawsuit information to tell about every single name that we should be shouting from the rooftops, as Joanna stated.
Yeah.
Because I would love to name drop them here. I would love that.
I really hope that the Grace investigation is made public.
Same. Yeah. Wouldn't it? Don't they do that?
Grace does not release it. So usually what Grace will do is after their investigation and the report is written, the report will be released to a select handful of people. It's usually some people on the, accuser side versus the other side. Both sides have them. They will send out the report, and each report is numbered, and the number is assigned to a person. And so it's very much well tracked. So if it was to be released prior to the final report coming out, they'll be able to track it back to the person because it's not supposed to be released yet. During that time, they have a set amount of time, I think, that Grace gives them to read over the report and report back.
But they have to take action, right? If Grace has encouraged?
No, this is the time when they can change things. Like if they say, oh, the fact on page 12 under blah, blah, blah is not correct. Here's the evidence. Can, change. It's usually changing minor things, just in making sure the report is accurate. And then after that, Grace will make those changes and then send the official report out to the company who paid them. Grace does not release the report publicly. So it's up to whoever hired them to release the report. And so it will be in the church's best interest to
release
I guess
everything
for the public's viewing if they were open and honest and released it.
Well, Thomas, if you're really dedicated to the cause of what following Jesus is, you'd call out the names.
But they also send the report to the victims and stuff who are interviewed, and usually.
Can the victims, can they publicly just put everything out there that was given to them? Good.
Yep. From what I understand, especially with the other investigation they did, they were not held to any non-disclosure agreement, or that they had to hold on to it for so many days, or couldn't post it online. That was not the stipulation.
And if you ever feel unsafe doing it yourself, I'm happy to do it for you over here on Deadly Faith. We are happy to redact your name and your specific details and to just put out exactly what they did and their name.
And Grace,
happy to do
Grace
it.
is also very good at changing names and putting victim 1, victim 2. And so
we saw that with the
reporting victim.
New Evangelicals.
Yeah. So,
by the way, still waiting on that, guys.
Yeah.
Still waiting on things to get better there.
Yeah. I think it's...
I still keep an eye on it.
I feel bad, but I think it's water under the bridge. It's one of those
it's not to me.
It's not for me. I'm just saying for them, their perspective of it's...
I'm sure it is. And I hope I hope very much for the bridge to be put on fire.
Like, I can agree, and like
the tsunami.
I can agree with a lot of the stuff that they say and like what they're doing in the bigger picture, but I have lost all respect for Tim. I really have.
I have lost respect for organizations like what they've built because it's monetized. I think when you get money involved, it
does get tricky, I will say. It does.
If you are not so careful, so accountable, and really responsible, and have a good like checks and balances for everything, I think you just get into muddy water that you cannot unmuddy.
Yeah.
And to me, they have muddied so hard. Even if they unmuddied it, I wouldn't trust it. So that's my own personal take on that. But yeah, if you guys have any other like specific stories from Greater Grace Church, because this is so far-reaching, there's still a thing. And if you have something that you like to share, we're happy to share it. Yeah. We're happy to hear your story. Even if you don't want us to share it, we're happy to just, you can send us your emails, your messages. I read everything. Yeah. And I tell Laci to read everything if she hasn't already read it. So
she does. Yeah.
We're very much happy to support you.
Yeah. And we do respond. We do respond.
Oh yeah. Somebody got good response time.
So yeah, Lola's really good at that. But somebody sent us some suggestions.
No, don't talk about it yet.
I was going to talk about the picture. Am I allowed to talk about the picture yet?
No, I want to wait.
Okay.
Because I want to wait.
Sorry, guys.
We have a shout out to do. It's in like not the next recording, but the next one. I have a shout out for someone.
Is that the case I'm covering? Or is that the case you're covering? Okay. We've been getting so many suggestions lately. So, okay. It was somebody else who suggested the next case I'm doing. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I have a shout out to give this person. I'm really excited. It's a really cool case. It's very like grunge, punk rock. It's right up my alley.
Oh,
I had a lot of fun researching it. I'm so excited for you guys to hear about it. So thank you guys for all the suggestions because we have gotten quite a few recently.
Yeah.
And we really, it helps us to be a little more inspired because I think we get bogged down. And we tend to like sometimes pick, or at least I do, I end up picking like similar cases to things I've done before. And I'm like, I need something new here to look into and to...
Yeah.
I'm sick of calling Mormon churches. I'm sick of it, okay? I'm sick of dealing with them. They never want to talk to me. You know what? Half the time I don't really want to talk to them, but I need a statement.
Yeah.
I need a statement.
Yeah.
They always get so scared when I call.
They should. You got the Lola on the phone, guys.
This is Deadly Faith Podcast. Lola speaking. I need to speak to your head director. I need a statement on a case that I've just discovered. Are you aware of this one? Any thoughts? Anything you'd like to say? Okay, you can transfer me. And they hang up half the time.
That's awesome.
I call back. But anyway.
And they go, we are not. No. Anyways.
Is that my palate cleanser?
I was going to say, let's just let that be our palate cleanser for you guys.
Just to think of me on my little phone with my
journalist voice,
with my little script that's my introduction. Just little me in my PJs with my laptop.
Yeah, and they're all terrified. I love it. Yeah, and then you guys can just be excited for our next few episodes with our little shout outs coming. I'm excited. This year's going to be crazy, but I'm excited for it. So here we go. I know it's going to be a good year. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to cry. I'm going to be overwhelmed.
I'm going to throw up anyway.
But then I'm going to have a full-time job and save some people's lives.
Yes.
I have a feeling that this is the year that I have to give somebody CPR.
Oh, honey.
I know it.
That's not a palate cleanser.
I know, right? When I took my CPR class, like right as we started the program last year, it was like a day later, I was just like driving and randomly I go, oh, fuck.
You could be the one.
This is the first time I've taken the CPR class where I'm like, it's not an if I have to use this skill, it's when. And this semester we're doing ACLS, which is advanced cardiac life support. So it's like a step further than.
Love that.
And so I'm like, oh, this is going to happen.
I'd let you do CPR on me. If you break my ribs and kill me, it's okay.
Hey, I wouldn't kill you from breaking your ribs, but it would hurt like fuck. But you would know I did CPR. 2 inches. You want 2 inches of depth and recoil.
Thank you, Dr. Mike. Chest compressions. Okay, guys, we're done. With that, please stay safe, stay skeptical,
and steer clear of the culture's carousel.
Bye.
As always, heathens, also, if you're loving the show, leave us a like, a subscribe, a rate, a review, whatever it is, wherever you listen to us on. If you're on Spotify, leave us a comment on the episode. We do get to see those, and those are fun. Check out our Patreon for an ad-free episode, and you get access to the Potty Podcast over there, so go check that out. We also have merch available, so again, everything's in the show notes. Also, if you need any resources for any kind of domestic violence, trafficking, anything like that, mental health, those are always listed in our show notes every time, so go check those out. We love you guys, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.